I'm so upset my mic was
Sounds good.
muted. I
All
was
you need
so
to do to
happy
get
that
to
I finally
Fontaine
made it to
is cross this stretch of
Fontaine.
desert and navigate some waterways.
But I was
Knowing you
muted.
two, I'm sure it won't be anything you can't handle. So, when are you leaving?
Right now, hopefully, I'm ready to get out of Sumeru. I've been in Sumeru for what feels like forever. This was the longest Archon quest I've ever done.
Oh, wait a sec. Paimon just remembered there are still a few dishes in Sumeru that Paimon hasn't tried yet. Now, where's that list Paimon made?
I see. Guess you won't be needing a going away party or anything. It's sad enough to see you go like this. Though, now that I think about it, Sumeru wouldn't be what it is today without you. Seems true heroes always prefer leaving quietly.
What's crazy? The Sumeru quest, it wasn't good until the end. It was so boring until I got to the end. The end was amazing, but the beginning, bro, that was the slowest thing I've ever. Oh my god, and they had us doing like 50 different side quests during the Archon quest. That was insane. But the end was so good.
By the way, should we go say bye to Nahida? Oh, good point. Then there's no need to bother her in the real world.
Then, I guess this is goodbye for now, Traveler in Paimon. Whether as a client or a friend, you're always welcome to come find me.
Girl, bye. You took 2 of my 50/50s. I'm not worried about seeing you again.
Goodbye, Dia. Bye-bye, Sumeru.
I was muted again! I was saying I already have waypoints in Fontaine! Because I'm so late getting here. I can't. I'm sick, bro. I'm sick. Am I supposed to go downstairs? Oh, I am. I can't just jump? I'm just gonna jump.
Whew. After crossing all that sand and water, we finally made it. Oh, this must be Fontaine's port. Wow. Everything looks so advanced in Fontaine. Paimon's heard that the industry here is extremely developed, and there are all kinds of unusual machines.
I can't wait to see Child again, bro. I can't wait. I know he's in this quest, and I'm so excited. I haven't seen Child in so
Seeing the
long.
sights as a tourist is nice, but maybe it would be better if we found something to do. What do you think? Good idea. Nahida gave us loads of useful information.
So we're going straight to see Farina.
Alpha 7 is probably still our best source for information at this point. Yeah, the more we can learn, the better. So, what do you think the Hydro Archon's like? Will we get along? Nahida said that she has a very unique personality, whatever that means. To learn about a nation's god, start with the nation's people. There seems to be some locals talking over there. Let's go see if we can join the party.
If you ask me, it's a tragedy how things ended for him. Clearly, he was a pretty decent person.
Yeah, I didn't expect that kind of ending for him. I thought he would at least fight on a little longer for his family. I was expecting a sudden plot twist, but it's a pity that it never happened. Still, his story is quite the tearjerker.
Who are we talking about?
Excuse me. Can I help you two? I couldn't help but notice
Oh,
you
it's
standing here
Lynette.
listening.
Hi. We're travelers new to Fontaine, and we had something we wanted to ask, but you seem to be really busy talking about some kind of play, so we didn't want to interrupt.
Play? Oh, no. We're talking about something that really happened. In fact, it's a case that was just heard a few days ago.
Really? Like, a real trial? But the way you were talking about it and the words you used just now made it sound like some kind of story.
Well, good tales are often based on true stories, aren't they? And what you see in reality may also be someone deliberately putting on an act while harboring ulterior motives. Whether something is true or not simply isn't that important. The main thing is whether the story being acted out on the stage is splendid enough. Oh, but it looks like you're not from around here. You probably don't know that the Fontaine Court of Justice is called the Opera Epiclese, or more commonly known as just the Opera House.
But,
I'm sorry, I didn't know what to
shouldn't
say.
court
I was
cases be
locked
treated
in.
a little more
Okay, I'm
seriously than
lying.
that?
I was
Now, of course,
checking my
shame Fontaine's
TikTok
way of
because I
doing
just posted
things.
a new TikTok.
It's just that putting
By
someone
the
in
way, if you're
power
not
is
following my
usually a
TikTok
very
and you
serious
follow me here,
thing.
you should totally check out my TikTok.
No worries. Other visitors to Fontaine have wondered the same thing. You could say that we just don't want to waste the moving stories behind those cases. And as for your worries about whether the cases are treated with due reverence, we have the absolutely just and honorable Chief Justice Neuvillette, as well as the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, a machine created by the Archon. Between the
Oh my
machine and the
God.
Chief Justice, false charges and injustice are
You're a trees? Is it some kind of machine, too? Oh,
I
I'm
can't hear that
curious.
without thinking of the
We should
meme.
check it out if we get the chance. Wait, I almost forgot to ask you our question. Do you know what we should do if we want to meet the Hydro Archon?
Oh, that's easy. Just go to the Opera House. Lady Farina practically lives there. You could definitely say it's her biggest passion.
Huh. I think what they mean is that they wish to speak with the Archon personally. In that case, I am afraid it's going to be a tad more difficult. You'll have to make an appointment
I was
well in
so
advance.
confused. I was
and
like, they
it'll
can just
depend on
walk
whether
up
or
and
not
talk
she
to
has
their
any time
god?
slots available.
Huh. Is the Hydro Archon super busy taking care of official stuff? Wait, didn't you say that she's always at the Opera House?
No. Lady Farina seldom takes an interest with the nation's affairs. The reason it's difficult to make an appointment is simply because she's incredibly popular.
That's right. After all, she is the Archon. Though she may tend to get a little dramatic from time to time, people can't get enough of her.
Huh. First time Paimon's ever heard of an Archon being described that way before. Wait! Paimon gets now! The Hydro Archon is kinda like a big celebrity here, right?
Are the Archons not a
Yeah,
celebrity
I
everywhere?
suppose you could say that. Perhaps you could even say our mascot.
Hang on. This is still Fontaine's Archon you're talking about. You should show some more respect.
Yes, you're right. I guess I should at least try to be a little more respectful in front of visitors. Otherwise, I might get arrested and find myself face to face with Monsieur Neuvillette.
You would
Come
be
on.
a lucky man.
Sure, there's a lot of laws here, but nobody's going to be arrested for saying something disrespectful about the Hydro Archon.
Alright, I think we get it. Thank you! At least we now know that we can find the Hydro Archon at the Opera House. But who knows how long making an appointment will take? Guess we could have a look around the city in the meantime. Hey! What are you looking over there for?
Yeah, Lynette's been standing over
Huh.
there for a while.
Maybe something's the matter. She isn't going to jump into the water, is she? Maybe we better go check on her.
Hey, girl.
Hello there. Excuse me. Are you alright?
Huh? I'm fine. Thanks.
Oh, okay then. We just noticed that you seem to be worried about something.
About many things, actually. But there's nothing I can do but just keep my troubles to myself. I was just reminiscing about a place my brother and I would play when we were kids.
You know, I guess I actually
Was
get to
just
know
atop that
the
hill over
Fontaine
there.
characters' personalities now. I kind of just like them without knowing
You're
their
pointing at the sea.
personalities or anything about them.
Wait, are you saying that you and your brother lived in the water?
Maybe they're mermaids.
No people call the waters around Fontaine a sea. It's actually just an inland lake that's filled with fresh water. And though I can still see that hill clearly in my memories, now it's been completely submerged. He would skip and jump, tossing sand in the wind. The sun shone brightly, and the air was filled with the scent of the sea. But now, the water is gradually swallowing our memories. It won't be long before it swallows us.
Sorry. Paimon doesn't really get what you mean.
I don't believe we've had the pleasure
Oh
of
my
meeting.
god, it's
Are you
Lynette! Or,
Lynette's new
my bad,
friends?
it's Liney!
Oh, and you are?
Thanks for looking after my sister. She often comes here to reminisce about our childhood, that's
Dude.
all. There's no need for any concern.
We finally get to
Allow me
find
to
out
introduce
Liney's
myself.
personality.
I'm Linny, and this is my sister
Linny?
Lynette. If I had to guess,
His name
I'd
is
say
Linny?
you must be travelers from abroad.
I've been saying Liney!
Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Fontaine. We were just talking with
Dude,
your
who told
sister,
me his name was Liney?
even though we didn't really get what she was saying.
I see. It's unusual for Lynette to be so willing to talk with anyone. In fact, she seldom speaks at all. I'm usually the only one she ever talks to.
Oh, really? Then you two are just like us. Paimon's always the one talking for some reason.
Bro, Paimon's just a chatterbox. Oh my god, there's hardly anything left for me to say around you. Or
So
with
that's
you
how you
around.
think it is?
I also think my brother can be too talkative at times.
Seems you were right, Paimon. We are quite similar.
So, what did Lynette mean just now when she said that the water is engulfing your memories? And that it won't be long before it engulfs you too?
Oh, that. It's from a prophecy that's been circulating in Fontaine for some time now. Well, I suppose prophecy isn't exactly the right word, because that implies a certain amount of uncertainty. There's no doubt about what's happening in Fontaine now.
Bro, Linny, not Liney, has a really cool voice.
Where to begin?
You know those characters that are like snakes?
Let's put that question
That's
on
what he
hold
sounds
for a
like. He
minute.
sounds like a
We
snake.
still haven't formally greeted each other yet, have we?
Did all the introductions earlier not count?
Hello, traveler.
Hello, Linny. I can't get over this. I feel so betrayed.
And hello, Paimon.
That is so
Hey,
cute.
Paimon, get a handshake! You're not poking fun at Paimon, are you?
Please, don't take offense. Just consider it a sort of etiquette we have here in Fontaine when making new friends. You should remember it. It might prove useful.
Oh, alright then.
That was a little
Well, Paimon's just happy
creepy.
to have a local friend now. By the way, we were just getting ready to go to the Opera House to meet the Hydro Archon. Would you be able to show us the way?
So you're going to see Lady Farina? No problem at all. In fact, I was planning to go to the Opera House later myself. I'll gladly take you once I finish things here. Please, follow me.
Man, I love Linny's character. That's really gonna take some getting used to. I've been calling him Liney this entire time, dude. I'm gonna play Venti. I was so confused. I was like, why'd she stop walking?
You said you were going to see Lady Farina? Well, it seems Lady Farina has come to see you.
How does she even know I'm here? That is not Farina. No, here she is. Girl, we're down here.
Huh. So,
She couldn't find the
she's
stairs.
Hydro Archon? But how did she know we were looking for her?
My dear people, rich and poor, those with cup in hand and those with nothing at all, raise your glasses in celebration. If you don't have one, then just raise your hand in lieu.
Bro, she's a goofball.
As you can all see, two unfamiliar travelers have arrived in our nation. Come, let us make a toast
What's
in
wrong with
honor
her
of this
eyes?
traveler and her
I
companion.
never noticed her
who
eyes
journeyed
looking like
here
that.
from distant lands.
Is she talking about us?
And no one's holding a
I've long
glass.
heard of the turmoil and chaos
She's
you
just
left in your
yapping.
wake as you visited other nations. But I welcome you nevertheless. No, I have come to receive you personally. Fear is for insignificant cowards. I am a god, and I will never entertain the notion of such meaningless wariness. You can be rest assured. I see clearly your sincerity. Of
Karina
course,
is up there
seeking
talking
an
crazy.
audience with me is the most sensible thing to do. It will allow you to truly behold my power and witness my authority. Intelligent people always gather under the correct banner.
I'm gonna be honest.
Focalor, hereby welcome you to the nation of Hydro and acknowledge the value and
From all the
significance of
TikToks
your
I've
trip.
seen of her,
Now, you may
And, like,
rejoice in this.
her ultimate ability in the game and stuff, this is not what I expected her to sound like or act like at all. She's kind of boring. At least right now. I'm sure she picks it up later in the story. Hopefully, because I already wasted like 50 wishes on her banner.
Yeah. Paimon still can't believe it. Feels like we've only been here for a few minutes.
I thought she was a goofball, but she's like
The Hydro Archon's entrance was...
kind of serious.
How should Paimon describe it? A little over the top? Miss Hydro Archon? How did you know we were coming?
You see, that's what I said. I was like, how does she know we're
As
here?
Outlanders, you inevitably lack even some of the most basic understanding. Don't forget that even the gods can be divided into the mediocre and the excellent. I suppose it's only natural for you to be awestruck
mouth's
by
not
my
moving.
abilities. You had best stop and consider. Do you really have the noble qualities and etiquette necessary to communicate with a god?
Girl.
All it takes is a flick of my finger for me to know everything about you.
Whoa. Talk about sounding high and mighty.
That's what I'm saying. You see, me and Paimon, we on the same wavelength.
Oh? What's with these looks? Perhaps the welcoming ceremony still isn't enough? What else should I say then?
Is she waiting for us to start talking?
Wow, I didn't expect to see Lady Farina here. What a surprise! Wait, does this mean they're the legendary blonde traveler? How did I not notice before?
Hey, what's
That's
all
a
the
good
commotion?
question. How did you not
Oh.
notice?
Is that Lady Farina? Is there some kind of drama going on?
Of course. That's the blonde traveler. The one all those stories are about. Lady Farina came here to personally see her. Oh, I bet this is gonna be the duel of the century.
Ooh, I've got to see this. I knew Lady Farina would never disappoint.
Yes, but don't get too excited now. My dear believers and spectators alike tend to get quite rowdy, and despite the noise, I've come to tolerate all their ruckus. consider this my reward to all of you. I have determined that there will be an epic duel
Yeah,
between myself and this traveler from another land.
I don't
just
think I
as
like
you were
Farina
hoping
very
to see.
much.
Now she wants to fight? Aren't we getting a little ahead of ourselves?
Yeah, let's fight her. No, that one option was like, fighting gods, I've got a resume. That's hilarious.
Are you not afraid? Might I remind you that this is a duel against the divine?
What are you trying to do, traveler? Provoking a god in front of her people?
Stand down, Clorend. I admire her bravery. Few have the courage to draw their sword against a god. She is obviously a true warrior. Unfortunately,
You know what? No, she is a
people
goofball.
nowadays only crave to be thrilled, and a mere duel will not slake their thirst for excitement.
Huh. Yeah, she's right. Just a duel wouldn't be all that interesting.
On Araneus, criminals are always requesting duels to defend their honor. I'm getting a bit
What?
old, to tell the truth.
She wasn't even the one who requested. It was
Then,
Farina.
as the god of justice, I shall face this traveler in another kind of duel. A duel in court!
Now you're taking us to court.
All
I'm
right.
dead.
Now that'll be worth seeing.
Right. This is Fontaine,
We
after
just got
all.
here.
Such a grand opera house. It would be a pity not to use it.
Why do you care so much about the crowd's reactions? Seems you've spent a little too much time in the opera house. Besides, how exactly do you plan to have a duel in court? You mean you're going to put us on trial?
No, I should have chose the second one because it's true. We
You
literally
have
did
used
just
to
get
put you
here.
on trial. It's obvious, isn't it?
Obvious?
According to Fontaine law, no one is permitted to release any flying objects within Fontaine city limits during the first
Paimon
3
is not
days
an
of each
object.
month. You are clearly guilty of violating this law, no?
Oh, so that's what they've done wrong. That's our Lady Farina. No
Oh, my
one knows the
controller's gonna
laws
die.
of Fontaine like she does.
You call that obvious? What kind of law is that? Wait, flying object? You mean Paimon?
It's crazy. They disrespected Paimon like
Precisely.
that.
Now, if you two have no objections, then in the name of the Hydro Archon, I order your arrest.
My apologies, Lady Farina. I don't mean to spoil the fun. But if you would allow me to interject, I don't think that Paimon here meets the definition of a flying object.
Thank you,
Tell her,
Lenny.
Lenny. Finally, someone
Like,
who's not
Paimon is
crazy.
not an
How
object.
could anyone call Paimon a flying object?
Ah, great magician Linny, my beloved citizen. I'll permit you to object, but how exactly do you plan to prove your claim?
As a magician who just rained on your parade, I naturally should shoulder the responsibility of saving the show. So, with such an audience gathered here, allow me to perform a trick for everyone.
Oh, wow. Now we can use Pyro?
Ta-da!
What's that on Paimon's back? Hey, when did Lenny do that?
Wait a second. We don't get to use Pyro until Notland. What am I talking about? What did he do? Oh, that's why he was acting all suspicious, because he put something on her.
There. As you can all clearly see, Paimon should be classified as, well, something like a balloon. This rope has been in the traveler's hand all along. It was just that no one could see it before.
Huh?
You call that magic? You've got to be joking.
I thought it was pretty good. Nice one.
Huh. I'm not sure what to think. It seems Lady Farina's charges no longer hold water.
Amusing. Very amusing, Linny. Just the sort of unexpected twist that I enjoy. With you here, today's performance can finally be called complete.
Performance? You see all this as a performance?
In which case, consider the matter of your trial resolved. The
Oh,
god
wow,
of
Lenny
justice
saved
will not bring
us.
charges against an innocent person.
I thought they were gonna count the
But
balloon as
when
an
there
object,
are
but
valid
no.
grounds, I will not only judge travelers from abroad, but even the gods of other lands.
No, seriously, have her eyes always
I
looked like
forward
that?
to seeing your upcoming performance at the Opera House, Mr. Linny and Miss Lynette. That's enough for now. Toodaloo!
Wow, they just walked away like the Archon wasn't just right
Just
here.
like that. She's gone. Well, that's the most unpredictable Archon Paimon's ever seen. You never
I'm
even
saying.
had a chance to ask her anything. But that's a problem for future Paimon.
Literally,
That whole scene
all she
just
did
now
was show up and try to
really-
arrest us.
Ugh.
Yeah, thanks,
Don't mention it.
Lenny.
I just happened
I
to
almost said
remember that
Liney
there
again.
was such a law, so I did a little preparation, just in case. I didn't think it would actually come in handy. So, now do you see what kind of god Lady Farina is?
She can be a bit confusing
Crazy
at times,
one.
but she is still amenable to reason.
Anyway, Paimon had no idea you were a magician, Linny. It sounded like you'll be performing at the Opera House, right?
I just know a few simple tricks I use to make a living. Lynette is my assistant. It will actually be my first time performing on the most prestigious stage in Fontaine.
Well,
the
that's
Opera
exciting.
But isn't the Opera House where criminal trials are held in Fontaine?
When there are no public trials being held, the Opera House hosts a variety of other performances. To the people of Fontaine, the line between a trial and a performance can be a little blurred. And speaking of performances, I would be remiss to forego this opportunity gifted by fate. Might I invite the two of you to see my performance?
I would love
My brother's
to see
always
your
excited
performance.
to make new friends.
Oh, sure. We don't really have anything to do now, and we wanted to go to the Opera House anyway.
Splendid. In that case, why don't we go together? I'll show you the way. I just have something to take care of first. Oh, you really mean it? Then I'll take you up on your offer. This is a magical item known as a magic pocket. Perhaps you can help me distribute them to the people here.
Dude. Oh, he has a regular voice line that says magic pocket, right? Whenever he opens the chest. Okay, I was like, that sounds so familiar, him saying that.
Huh? What are they going to use it for?
About that... You asked me before about the prophecy, right? Let me start by telling you a little more about what it entails. I'm not sure exactly when it began, but a prophecy has been circulating around Fontaine. It says that every person in Fontaine is born with sin. No matter how the nation of justice
Born
holds
with it.
trial after trial, this sin cannot be absolved. Until one day, the water levels in Fontaine will rise, and the sinful people will slowly be drowned. In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne.
That's so
Only then
sad.
will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
That sounds pretty gloomy. Why are people in Fontaine born with sin? What is that supposed to mean?
There are lots of guesses. Some say that the ancestors of Fontaine stole the power of the seas and stirred its wrath. Others say that the people of Fontaine never heeded the first Hydro Archon's warnings and offended Celestia. But here in Fontaine, evidence is what matters. There hasn't been concrete evidence for any of these claims, so they can only be regarded as conjecture.
If even the people in Fontaine don't know what sin they committed, wouldn't it be better just to ignore the prophecy completely? Why bother feeling guilty all the time?
That's exactly what the people did at first. But in the last few years, the water levels in Fontaine have actually started rising.
Yeah, Lynette was just talking about that. That's crazy.
Many places have already been completely submerged, and now lie beneath the sea.
Many people carry on with their lives as before and shrug it off as a natural phenomenon. But my family and I think that the people of Fontaine shouldn't ignore the possibility, which would end up sentencing them to death. We hope that at least the people who reside near the waterfront can move away before it's too late. So, we've started distributing magic pockets to them. As a magical item, these magic pockets have astonishing capacity. I'm sure they will come in handy when people are moving their belongings.
Oh, Paimon gets it! It's like preparing for a rainy day! But this is more than
Honestly,
a rain.
knowing Genshin, the prophecy's definitely true.
Perhaps only absolute power could ever contend with such a catastrophe. But who knows? We're just tiny specks in the grand scheme of things. Now, if you'd like to help, then please give these magic pockets to anyone nearby. Be sure to convince them to take it, regardless of what they say.
Actually, I'm just gonna end it here. So, yeah. I don't know if you guys heard earlier, but my mom did knock on my door, so I'm actually gonna take a break here. And I'll upload the next part of this story as soon as possible. I'm so excited that I made it to Fontaine, guys. I never thought I was gonna make it out of Sumeru. That quest was so long.